Hey, good evening and welcome back to Wednesday Night Recap, another great session. This was session 3 by Louis Giglio, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at the Table. I don't know if it's the table or your table. And by the way, somebody's missing from our table tonight. Pastor Hans is at a Red Sox game up in Boston. We gave him some time off for good behavior. But anyways, he needs it. It's good to get away like that in the middle of summer. I hope all of you had a great Independence Day celebration with family and friends and whatever you might have done. But anyways, back to tonight. The whole series began with Psalm 23. And tonight was interesting. Did he mention Psalm 23? No. Focus on really what happened soon after creation.
Yeah,
right?
Really,
Adam and Eve.
Yeah. The session was the battle of our mind. And how we can, the scripture in 2 Corinthians about taking captive every thought. And what we can do is question, where is this thought coming from? And is it congruent with God's word? And so we talked about Adam and Eve and how it kind of developed from there. I don't think that necessarily was a lot of it, but that kind of took on the discussion a little bit about how Adam and Eve still deceived, even though they were in paradise, even though it couldn't be more perfect. Still, Satan found a crevice that he could get in to take part of their thought process and ultimately deceive them.
I like the way you introduced it tonight. Again, paradise, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
When God finished creation, and his highest act of creation was man and woman, humankind, he said, it is very good. Everything was good and then very good. So it was perfect. It was paradise. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah.
And to think, even as Satan looks for a way to get in there and ruin it, he had to have been, like you described, I hadn't thought of it this way, Satan had to have been thinking, I don't stand a chance. How am I going to bring corruption and chaos and sin into perfection?
Right.
And he found a way.
Right.
All he needed was just that little crack. And what was interesting too, he's there in the garden, he's in the garden, and he tempts her, deceives her into taking from the fruit from the forbidden tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and she even knew she shouldn't.
Right.
Which I think helps us to understand, and I guess I did mention it in the group tonight. You don't resist temptation, you flee temptation. Get away from it. The longer you're with it, the more likely you are to succumb.
Right.
And that's what she did.
Yeah. And one of the things he talked about too was that we have a thought and we want to sit with it for a couple of days, and then we want to bring in a friend and talk about it more and let it extend. And before we know it, we're just living it. And rather than taking captive, he likened it to a freeway, that a toll stops and makes everything accountable. You check the car, you make sure, is this going to continue on or is it going to be stopped right here? And we just allow these things to bombard us and we take them in. But we can examine and identify each thought and say, is this of God? If it's not of God, we can stop it right there. But oftentimes, as we saw, even Adam and Eve, I even said, I don't know what hope there is for little old me. If Adam and Eve are in paradise with all that Satan had against him, he still knew he could get in there, and just amazing.
The key is knowing the word.
Absolutely.
That kept getting brought up.
Absolutely.
And knowing the word, the Bible tells us to be sober and alert, for our enemy, the devil, prowls around looking for whom he may devour. So that's the key. You talk about little old me. The way to protect little old me is to be sober and alert and know the word. There was a word that wasn't used tonight by anyone, and I thought about throwing it out, but I commented enough. The word intentional. You have to be intentional. And so if there is a checkpoint in the road, he used like a toll gate,
right.
But really more of a checkpoint where you actually can check the car. You can stop it. You have the authority to stop it. That's what we have to do with our thoughts.
Yeah, for sure.
We have to put a check on our thoughts.
Right. Yeah. And to be able to, we talked about it last week a little bit tonight about, taking the lies of the enemy, but putting them up against what God says. Because for every lie the enemy tells you, there's a truth that God says in his word. But again, we have to know his word. We have to come back to knowing his word. Talked about a little bit, and I know we probably said this before, but money, and when bankers learn money and they don't show them counterfeit money, they show them real money, and that way they know when a counterfeit comes. And that's true of God's word. If we know it, we'll recognize when the enemy is coming, and we can stop it right there.
And I want to read a passage that you quoted. I don't think Louis included it.
Okay.
2 Corinthians chapter 10. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of this world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. Mm-hmm. And we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up or opposes the knowledge of God, sets itself up against or opposes the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what we have to do, is take these random thoughts that might lead us the wrong direction and address them, stop them, take them captive, rebuke them, use the authority that we have as Christians, as believers. And otherwise, Satan's going to run roughshod.
Right.
You know, again, if he could deceive Adam and Eve, if he was bold enough to confront Jesus and tempt him a number of times, and in Matthew chapter 4, or John chapter 4. Anyway, you look it up. Matthew chapter 4 or John chapter 4. I'm pretty sure it's Matthew 4. And Jesus had to rebuke him with Scripture. Mm-hmm. So there again is the validity of knowing the Word. Yeah. You know the Word is going to save you. Yeah. So,
and the Word, at least in that translation, opposes. And you said last week, and we talked about it tonight, that Satan...
He was originally called the opposer.
Yeah.
The word Satan in Job chapter 1 is referred. The word is opposer.
Right.
So
there's a battle, but we can win the battle. Christ has already won the battle. We realize that, but yeah. So we hope that you can join us on a Wednesday night. Sunday, if you didn't join us this past Sunday, we had a great service, full service for a holiday weekend. Mm-hmm. I was shocked by that as well, but great things. And so we invite you to come out on a Wednesday night for family night, or Sunday for a Freedom series, and just a great time in the Lord. Yep. With other believers. That's very important, to be amongst other believers. So we hope you have a great night, and love to see you out coming soon.